Sword of Omens, come to my hand. I, Lion-O, command it. Hi, you're listening to the Double Axe Handle Smash Podcast. ThunderCats, ho!
If you've recently made the switch to an electric vehicle, or you're just tired of waiting around at slow public charging stations, it's time to call Direct Electrical Services. They are Connecticut's go-to experts for professional level 2 EV charge installations, including Tesla wall connectors. From EV chargers to panel upgrades, backup generators, renovations, network cameras, and general home electrical services, their licensed, insured, and dependable team has you covered. Power your drive and let them handle the rest. Call or text Direct Electrical Services today, 860-913-6232, or visit them online at directelectricalservicesllc.com. Once again, 860-913-6232. Give them a call or go to their website.
Welcome everybody to Double Axe Handle Smash. I'm Johnny O, and this is
Josh-O.
And we are here today with a very special guest, the voice of our childhood. When we were younger, we were big fans of a show called ThunderCats. And Josh has the Sword of Omens right here. And so we have a very special guest, Larry Kenney, who voiced Lion-O as well as many other characters. We'll be getting into that in this show. And Larry, how are you doing?
I'm great, guys. Thank you. How are you?
We're doing awesome. This is a dream come true.
It really is. Thank you so much.
That's very nice of you. Thank you. And I've been dreaming about being on here with you guys too. So we're all.
All right, so one of the first questions I wanted to get into, and we'll go sort of in the beginning of your career, is how did you get into radio at only 15 years old?
Yeah, well, I was taking a radio class in high school. I'm from a small town in Illinois, a town of about 20,000 people, and for some reason, our high school had a radio studio, and you could take a radio class. Now back then, I just thought that was. Everybody had one, but looking back on it now, it was so amazing that we had a really new state-of-the-art studio, but we didn't have a transmitter, so we would broadcast at lunch every day over the telephone lines to the local radio station. And anyway, so I did that for about a half a year, about a semester. And then one day I got a call from the program director of the biggest radio station in the area, in Peoria, Illinois, and offered me a job. I said, well, okay, I'm not doing anything else, except turning in the empty soda bottles and beer cans that I would find in the alley behind the house. I used to do that. And I used to make potholders to sell to neighbors and stuff. I was always making some bread, But I said, he said, I heard you, and would you come up and audition? So I said, sure, and it was a Saturday. It was a show called Peoria Pekin School Scope. The town I'm from is from Pekin, Illinois, right across the river from Peoria. So it was a show, 1 hour a week, and it was a public service show. So no commercials on it. It was one of those public service things that radio stations have to do to keep their license. And what we did for an hour on Saturdays was myself and another high school kid from Peoria High School. We would play records, and then in between them, instead of commercials, we would talk about what's going on at the local high schools. big football game this week at Central, and then, yeah, like that, big deal. So that's how I got started. And then they eventually offered me my own show when I was about 17.
Wow.
And then did that a couple of years, and then I started sending out tapes, to bigger stations, bigger cities, trying to get jobs. And I moved from there to Fort Wayne, Indiana, Cleveland, Chicago, and New York. And I've been out here 50 years now.
Well, actually, that gets into my next question, which is, so you spent years on the Don Imus radio show, correct?
Yeah, 112 years. Yeah. Well, it was 35, but if you know Imus, it seems like.
So how did you get on?
Yeah, 35 years that was.
I mean, because for our listeners, that was in a huge market. So being on that show was gigantic. So how did you get on there?
Sure. Oh, yeah. Again, a long story that I'll try to keep shorter than the last one. My wife tells me, your stories are too long. So I'll try to cut it down. I was working in Cleveland at a radio station, WKYC, owned by NBC. And Imus was in Cleveland at that time at a different radio station. He was doing mornings, I was doing afternoons at different stations, okay? He left there to go to New York. I hadn't met him at all, but he had left there to go to New York. And it turned out that my board operator, the guy who played the records and the commercials and things like that, the engineer, called me after I came to New York, and he called me and said, no, I was in Chicago. I'm sorry. I had left Cleveland, gone to Chicago. I'm doing mornings in Chicago. Imus is doing mornings in New York. Never met him yet. He calls me and says, I'd like you to do some bits on my show. I've heard you do Nixon and Kissinger, and Kennedy and all those things. Would you be interested? And I said, yeah, I think so, yeah. So for a year, I never met him, but every morning when we both had newscasts on at the top of the hour, he would call me and say, let's do something today about this news story, whatever was going on the news. He'd say, there's a big story on the news about Kissinger and Nixon, and let's do something about that. So I would just come up with a 2.5 to 3 minute bit on that. Next day we might do, Ross Perot or somebody. So we did that for a year, never had met him. Then I got an offer to come to New York and do a show at another radio station, WHN. Did that, and for a long time, that's what it was. And then I finally gave up my other job and was just doing commercials and the Imus show. And the rest, as they say, is history.
That's great.
When did you discover that you could do these voices and stuff? Did you practice and did you hear yourself? Someone said, wow, you can do that character.
My mother.
Your mom. Oh.
Well, she always told me, God rest her soul, that from the time I could talk, I would watch cartoon shows and things and then turn around and do the voices. She said, you were mimicking everybody. And then by the time I got into school, I discovered that was not only fun to do, but the chicks loved it. It's a true thing. If you're a young guy, if you can make a girl laugh, you're halfway there.
Yeah.
Think
Either laughing or magic tricks,
Think about what you're up against. The rest of the schlubs in school, what are they going to do?
Right.
So that's how it came about. And so when I got into the radio gig then, I would incorporate them into my radio show. I play a Beatles record and a Tom Jones record, and I maybe do a little comedy bit as Richard Nixon, or somebody like that, and then play another record. And I kept doing that all the way till I got to New York, and then the whole new world opened up to me, cartoons and commercials and things like that.
Well, a little follow-up.
Very shortly after that, I said goodbye to radio, and except for Imus.
Yeah.
And stopped doing my own radio show because I figured that sitting there for 4 hours playing records, it was good money, don't get me wrong, but not the kind of money you can make doing commercials and cartoon shows and things like that.
What kind of cartoons did you grow up with watching, like Rocky and Bullwinkle and everything, and Looney Tunes?
You mentioned my favorite show ever, Rocky and Bullwinkle. As a matter of fact, one of my characters on ThunderCats is kind of something I kind of based on a character in Rocky and Bullwinkle. Do you remember? Well, you guys aren't old enough to remember. Well, you mentioned it, so you must remember.
We watched them all. We love this stuff.
Do you remember Snidely Whiplash?
Yes.
Hello now, I'm going to tie you to the railroad track.
Well, guess who that became on ThunderCats? Jackalman.
We must get the ThunderCats, yes?
That's how it works.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
So
I love Rocky and Bullwinkle, though.
I can do Rocky and Bullwinkle pretty good, so we'll have to.
Let's hear it. Let's hear
All
it.
right. Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. It'll never work. I don't know.
One of my favorite Bullwinkle things is Rocky finds in the water, of all places, fan mail. No, he finds a letter to Bullwinkle. And Bullwinkle says, "Fan mail from some flounder?" All right, enough of that.
Oh, that's fun. I love it.
well, so how did you go from that? Because you mentioned it before, commercial acting. Because you were the voice of Count Chocula. So how do you transition from one to the other?
There's no transitioning, really. It's all recorded. I mean, you mean from one character to another?
Yeah, from one character to another. And like, at what point do you sit there and go, you know what? The commercials are good money. How can I get into that?
Like, were you already doing ThunderCats before you did the cereal commercials?
No. I got the job doing Cocoa Puffs first in '78.
Oh.
1978, it was a hell of a year. You guys weren't around then, were you?
No, I
was.
I was around in '78.
Oh, that's why you have gray hair.
That's his Thomas Jefferson look for the 4th of July.
It is. A little more like Martin Van Buren, I think, but yeah, in that area. So.
Apparently, it's just a running gag on the show. Everybody's just going to make fun of my hair.
I was saying George Washington, but
If he's going to pout, we won't talk about it.
No. I'm proud of the fact that in my 50s, I still have a full head of hair. So people can feel free to make fun of me all they want.
I got this big round bald spot.
Imagine I feel at 79. You got a lot of this left.
You don't look 79.
Thank you. Not back here, though. No, I don't want to show you. That's a good question, and I was answering it, and I got screwed up.
Joe, just about commercial acting in general, getting into it.
Yeah. Well, when I came to New York as a disc jockey, now I had been doing commercials for the other stations I had worked at in the smaller markets, but those were usually for the local market, like in Cleveland, Higbee's department store and things like that. I had made some good money along the way. But when I got to New York, then you start having to audition for commercials, with the big ad agencies. And because I was on the radio every morning doing these voices and stuff, my agent started getting calls, send him over an audition for this, send him over an audition for that, and that's how it started. You mentioned Cocoa Puffs or Count Chocula. I did Cocoa Puffs and Count Chocula for 40 years, which is unheard of in this business. I mean, usually if you get a commercial, a major commercial on the networks, that's where you make the money, on the TV networks. A good one, let's say you get the Chevy account, and you're the Chevy announcer, you probably you can make a career just from that, Same with Cocoa Puffs, Count Chocula, anything that's on the network. So I got really lucky. First, it was the same ad agency that handled Cocoa Puffs and Count Chocula. They're General Mills, both General Mills cereals. And so I went and auditioned for Sonny, the Cocoa Puffs bird. The guy who had been doing it since I was a kid, Chuck McCann, had gone to Hollywood and was doing movies and things out there. So I became Sonny, the Cocoa Puffs bird in '78. A year later, they asked me to try out for Count Chocula. And of course I won that too.
And what if Sonny the Cocoa Puff bird and Count Chocula were to have a conversation, what would that sound like?
I don't know. I'd like to hear it too. Let's listen. Up here, I won't go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Nobody cares about your Cocoa Puffs. Get out. You get out, you bastard. That kind of language on television. I'll give you a little pure Sonny and then a little pure Count, you know. Up here, I won't go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Yahoo! I'm cuckoo for... you know, like that. And Count Chocula was, my favorite Count Chocula commercial was where I got to sing. Count Chocula cereal is coming your way. How about a monster for breakfast today? With chocolatey covered marshmallows in every bite.
Did you did the Frankenberry a little bit too?
No, I did not.
That was somebody
Bob
else.
McFadden.
All
Bob
right.
McFadden, who was also Snarf on ThunderCats.
Oh.
Very
Snarf,
small
snarf.
community voiceover.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've also been doing, I still do, after 25 years, one that you guys might not know that it's been me doing it. And most people don't, because you know, on cartoons or TV shows or movies, there are credits at the end. You know, this voice provided by, not on commercials. So most people don't know who's doing the commercials unless they're very attentive, you know. You know the Skittles commercials?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where the guy at the end says, "Feel the rainbow, taste the rainbow."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's so cool.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So how did you become involved with ThunderCats, and what do you remember about auditioning for Lion-O for the first time?
My agent called one day and said, tomorrow at 10, I'd like you to go to this address, the studio, and you're going to be auditioning for a new animated series that will be recorded here in New York. And that was a big deal because up until that point, we're talking about 1985, almost all the cartoon shows were recorded in LA, you know, or Florida, Disney, you know. But this is the first one ever, I think, that was going to be recorded in New York. So they auditioned 300 people here and 300 people in LA and probably a couple in Chicago. And so you go there. I went to the place where the auditions were going to be. You walk in and the walls are covered with drawings of the characters and a paragraph underneath about each character and what they're all about. You know, Lion-O is the Lord of the ThunderCats and stuff like that. And then pictures of the Thunder Tank and all that, just to give you an idea what the show was going to be like, because we didn't know what the hell it was about, you know. And so then they asked us to, before we went into the booth, when it was our turn, to pick one ThunderCat that we wanted to audition for, and one mutant, you know, the bad guys. So I knew right away I wanted to do Lion-O, you know, because he was the Lord of the ThunderCats. He was a star. So why not? Go, you know, go home or go big or go home. So so I auditioned for Lion-O, and that voice, of course, is just my voice. They told us before we went in, we don't want, for the ThunderCats, we don't want cartoony voices. We want real people voices. For the mutants, the bad guys, go ahead, go nuts, you know, chew the scenery. That's because any actor will tell you they love playing bad guys, whether it's a movie or an animated show or whatever, because you get to just let it all out, you know, just go crazy. So I said, I saw the thing for Jackalman, and I think I tipped it off a little bit earlier when I said that when I auditioned for Jackalman, I channeled Snidely Whiplash on Bullwinkle, Rockin' Bullwinkle. So I went in and I did a couple of takes of this one as Lion-O and then one as Jackalman. And then a couple of days later, the agent calls and said, "Hey, you got a job. You know, you're doing ThunderCats. And then once we started recording, they would start auditioning us for other parts on the show too. There were only 5 of us in the cast of ThunderCats, Silverhawks, Tiger Sharks, all those shows we did for Rankin Bass. And hundreds of voices, so as we went along and new characters were added or whatever, we had to audition again in the studio to do the new voices. Did I cover everything? I think I did.
Hey, John.
Oh, Josh?
Not only is it wedding season, but back to school is right around the corner. I think it's really important that everyone have the absolute perfect haircut. Do you know a place where they could go?
Yeah, I go to Old Town Barbershop in Somers, Connecticut.
You mean the one located at 48 South Road, Route 83?
Yes, it is. And haircuts are only $20 to start.
And their phone number, if you want to call, 860-604-5949.
And guess what? Now they have 2 barbers on duty, no waiting.
And they also do beard trims.
Yes, I went down there the other day, have a fresh new look. They trimmed my beard. They even used a straight razor. I'm all lined up everywhere. My neck is all good and all nice and fresh. I hate hair on my neck.
I just got to say, even though it's a very low bar, this is the best you have ever looked.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Go on, tell Jerry at Old Town Barbershop that Double Axe Handle Smash sent you. So, you're making ThunderCats. Did you have any idea at the time that 40 years later, it still has these passionate fans? Where we have them on DVD and Blu-ray, and we still watch them to this day.
And we're waiting for a live action movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I still read the comic too.
Do you? Good. Well, there's a whole new batch of them out now. I just signed 500 of not the other day, but the other week. I signed 500 copies of new comic books.
Yeah, they have a ThunderCats Silverhawk series right now going on.
That's the newest one, yeah.
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Yep.
It's incredible how it's grown. My God. I go to these Comic Cons and I'm signing not only the old, toys and action figures and things like that, and swords. I sign so many of those, the big, heavy, swords of omens, and now the comic books and everything. But your question was, did we have any idea back in 1985? There's no way you could know. Shortly after we started recording, we were having lunch one day and we were all talking about, because everybody in the cast was a seasoned actor, had been around a long time. And so what quality is and what quality is not, what's shit. And sometimes you say, okay, I'll take the job anyway. But we started talking about, this show's got a chance to really make it. Writing was incredible for a the music, get out of here, As soon as we heard that,
Oh, that theme song, yeah.
That made the show.
Yeah. And we had already recorded about 10 episodes before we ever heard the music. Because in cartoons and other things, you record the voices first. You pretty much have to. It would be almost impossible to have them animated and then you try to be in a booth and match your voice to the lips. It would take forever. So you record the voices first, and after about, we had recorded maybe, 8 or 10 of them, director came in one day and said, I got a surprise for you. I've got the soundtrack, I've got the music. He fired that thing up and we're all like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it was incredible. And we knew that the writing was good. We knew we were good, the actors. And so we started saying, it's got a chance. But you never know in this business, man, because anywhere in entertainment, you could have the best writers and directors and actors and all that kind of stuff. But there are outside influences. For example, with a cartoon show, you make the greatest cartoon show in the world. But if the network you sell it to decides to put it on at 5 o'clock Saturday morning, or 10 o'clock Monday night, it's not going to be a hit.
Right.
And I always tell this story about when I first knew for sure it was a hit show. I was at Toys R Us. Remember them?
Toys R Us, didn't they have like a mascot, Jeffrey the giraffe or something?
Oh yeah,
Something like that, yeah.
Jeffrey the giraffe.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you remember that. I bet you have a little stuffed one, don't you? I do. So I went to Toys R Us a couple weeks before Christmas. The show had been on the air about a year. And the previous time to this, I had been to Toys R Us, just, I don't know, a few months earlier. And I noticed that they had like one whole row on both sides, all ThunderCats stuff. Action figures, Thunder Tank, all that stuff. And this time when I walked in, there's 3 aisles, all ThunderCats. 1 aisle of He-Man. Son of a bitch. Oh, I'm joking, right? Mm-hmm. So I looked at that up and down, 3 aisles, both sides, all ThunderCats, and I said, this show is a hit. Now, as I'm walking down one of the aisles, there are 2 little guys, maybe 10, 12, our target audience, And I slowly walked by them. I'm sorry. I heard one of them say, I'm going to be Tigray. He's the cool one, The other guy said, nah, I'm gonna get Panthro. I like Panthro. I couldn't help myself. I stepped up and I said, hey guys, why don't you be Lion-O? He's the one that goes, sword of omens, come to my hand. And they looked at me like I was, who is this pervert? Well, you think about it, here's that middle-aged guy walks up to 2 little boys and says, hey guys. So I just kind of started slinking away, and I heard him behind me. One of them said, oh, wait a minute, I don't think I told. I said, you should get Lion-O. He's the one that goes, sword of omens, come to my hand. And as I'm walking away, I heard one of them say, he didn't even sound like Lion-O. And I thought, you little shit. You only know they'd be cleaning up the aisle now. But that was a moment I loved.
Oh,
that's
man.
when I knew it'd be a big hit.
When you were, oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
The height of the ThunderCats popularity, how often or have you ever went and bought a whole bunch of the figures and toys for your own collection, or do you have collections of your own?
I don't really have a collection. Well, I have a little bit of one. You can't see it. I have a little, my wife calls it my monument to Larry. It's a little table with, I got something I want to show you.
She gives you a little tiny space, huh? Oh, yeah. That's what we need.
Isn't that cool?
That's cool. Oh, there's a sword in there, too.
And it's autographed by Larry Kenney.
Oh, I know that guy.
And I got the bottles of Count Chocula and Cocoa Puffs too.
She lets you. She only lets you have the little space, huh?
What's that?
She only lets you have the little space, huh? She doesn't let you have a big room.
Oh yeah, well this is my office.
I'm just kidding.
She has her My Little Pony and her Hello Kitties in hers, and I have mine.
Oh. Is your wife a voice actor as well?
No, she's not. She's a coal miner.
Yeah.
And but not anymore. I wouldn't. Why would I have her keep working in the coal mines?
Right. Yeah.
No, she's.
Times are tough,
She takes care of me. She is the secretary treasurer of my corporation.
Oh.
Which when we signed up, my agent said and my lawyer said, you need to do a personal services corporation for tax purposes. Otherwise they'll eat you alive. And so we did, and we're filling out the papers, and the lawyer says, now what position do you want to? I said, president. Okay. And he said, okay, you're president, and Carol, you'll be the secretary treasurer. I can't sign a check. I can't cash it. I thought I was, doing a great thing. The first time I went to sign, Larry Kenney, president, she said, no, that they won't cash that because you're listed. I'm listed as the secretary treasurer.
So when you were recording, did the cast usually record together or did you record separately?
Always together. Always. We were all in the studio. If one of us was in there, the rest of us were in there. With a few exceptions. Sometimes, like after we had recorded an episode and had gone to lunch, our director might come over and say, Larry, before we start again, would you come in and say, I just got a couple of lines I want you to do over again, something like that. But basically, we were all in the studio together, which is the way it always was and always should be, but it's not anymore. I'm still working. I mean, I'm doing Teen Titans Go. I'm on Pokemon.
Who are you on
Horizon.
Teen Titans Go?
Keith, the guy in the wheelchair.
Oh, yes!
Why you damn kids? No. Oh, curmudgeon. Typecasting.
And on, if you're familiar with Pokemon Horizons, I'm Ludlow. That's for very little kids. The old guy with the, all my characters are the old guy.
Even when you were a young guy?
Yes. Well, that's funny because when I was a young guy, I could do old guys, And so back then I would do it if they wanted a 90-year-old guy. I would do a 90-year-old guy, If they wanted a 10-year-old, I said, well, I think I can do that. I think, as a matter of fact, ThunderCats, the first 2 or 3 episodes, Lionel was a little boy, 7 years old. And so I had to find, they said first, they being the producers, now we're thinking about getting a 7-year-old kid, unless you want to try. And I said, well, try. So I just said something like, gee, Snarf, I don't know if I can be the Lord of the ThunderCats. I mean, that's pretty heavy, Not bad.
Do you have any, like while you were recording with your castmates, do you have any, funny stories or any kind of stories that when you guys were in the room together? Did you guys ever play tricks on each other, kind of go off script when you guys weren't recording and kind of screw around and stuff, or?
No.
It was always serious?
You're too easy, man,
I know.
I mean that lovingly, Earl Hammond, who played Mumra, and among other characters, he was wonderful. And I know you guys are familiar with the show and the characters, so you remember when Mumra would transform from, he would go, ancient spirits of evil, transform this, like that. Well, you know how on the screen, Mumra this green crap would come out of his drool and vile, and Earl did that. Not the green, but when Earl started doing that, he would kind of slobber. Transform this decayed form into Mumra. So we would all start backing away from the microphone. In fact, I got to the point where I would, as we were recording, I would kind of peek a couple of pages ahead all the time. And whenever I saw, Mumra's transforming, I would warn the other guy, it's coming up. So we could all kind of back away further on the microphone and away from his spittle. And of course there were other fun things. It took us 3 years to record all the ThunderCats and Silverhawks. So we were together a long time. And of course there are always funny moments. I can't recall any other single one, but it was a great cast, a great group of people, and great engineers. The whole crew was great. We became like a family. I know you hear that all the time, but we really did. We had Christmas parties every year, and knew each other's kids and stuff, because we worked together so often, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you ever find yourself just like in everyday life, like just going to the grocery store or something, and you slip into your lino mode?
Well,
like all of a sudden, like you just become the Lord of the ThunderCats, you know, with the cashier who's taking just that little bit too long to scan your items at the grocery store.
do you know who you're dealing with, son? Ring those things up. I got one rock to deal with out in the car. No, I really don't. Mostly, my wife and I have this thing where we're incredible fans of Mel Brooks movies. And we find in our daily lives we're using lines from his movies, you know. Like she'll say, I thought you were going to the store. And I'll say, well, you were wrong then, weren't you? Damn your eyes, all that kind of stuff. But I don't recall, when people know who I am or whatever, they'll ask me to do the voices, you know. But I don't normally. For one thing, it's been so long that I'm afraid if I went up to somebody and said, guess who this is? Thunder! Thunder! I have no idea. You know, not everybody knows. So if they ask me, I'll do the voices.
Oh, you got to do the ThunderCats ho. You got to.
No, I don't have to. I don't have to.
Could you please do it, sir?
Now, most people, I always ask people at Comic-Cons to do it with me. They get a kick out of that, you know. But I have to remind them that it's 3 thunders and then ThunderCats. Oh.
3.
In other words, thunder, 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 ThunderCats. Ho! I can't do it while putting my arm up in the air. I don't know why.
It's probably because of the chest and the whole, you know, lifting thing.
Yeah.
So the Sword of Omens is right here. We have it right here. What would you say to the Sword of Omens if you really wanted it? What do you say?
First of all, that's not the Sword of Omens. That is the Dagger of Omens. I have one right here in that claw I showed you.
Doesn't
That's
it get bigger when when you go ThunderCats?
Excuse me? No, it didn't. But that's the one. That one is the one that was in his claw that I just showed.
It'll get bigger, it'll grow.
So anyway, yeah, I signed a lot of those, and I signed a lot of the great big one is heavy as hell. I like that you had the dagger there, though.
What would you like fans to remember most about you and your legacy as a voice artist?
Gee, I don't know. I obviously I would hope that to be remembered as a good actor, not just somebody who was on a cartoon show. Not that all actors on cartoon shows aren't good actors, but I would like to remember it as for somebody amongst the industry. I'm proud that I'm known, appreciated as a true professional. You know, I'm always there on time on this or that, and easy to work with and stuff. But for the general public, I just I hope they remember. Since I meet so many of them at Comic-Cons and things like that, I just hope they remember that I was a good guy. That I was not some jerk. Because there's enough of those around. But no, I just, I love it when people on Facebook say, I met Larry Kenney over the weekend. What a nice guy, this and that. And that's all. Nothing beyond that.
So what projects and what projects are you working on now, and any upcoming appearances you want to promote?
I have a Comic-Con coming up in Des Moines, Iowa, in a month or so, but I don't know the exact dates. And I'm still doing, as I said, Pokemon Horizons and Teen Titans Go. Still doing Skittles. And I'm still auditioning. As a matter of fact, I just, before we started this, I got an email from my agent about auditioning for some other thing. Some other 50 to 60-year-old guy at their own 50 to 60-year-old. Well, that's what I am, you know. But the funny thing is, I think people tend to think, even my agents, and they think, well, he's an old guy, so he can do old guy voices, you know. But they don't send me to auditions for, young virile men or anything like that anymore.
All right. So our last segment here is called Rapid Fire Smash. And so we're just going to ask you 10 quick questions, and you're just going to give us the fastest answer. You can expand on it if you want, like a sentence or so. But we'll just go, Josh.
All right.
Just first thing comes to my mind.
Yep.
Yep.
That kind of
So,
thing.
what
Okay.
is the weirdest thing anybody has ever asked you to autograph?
Their breasts. A young woman, a young couple at one of the first Comic-Cons I ever did in New Jersey. This is 12, 15 years ago. I had just started doing these, and I was not sure what to expect, you know. I had my son, at the time about 15, sitting next to me, and this really nice young couple, attractive young couple came up, and she kind of leaned over to me and said, across the table, she said, "Would you sign my breast?" And I said, "Yeah." No, I said, I looked around and I said, I would really, but there's children here, and her husband leans in and says, "We can go out in our van and do it."
Think they were going to kidnap you.
This is a very modern young couple, So I said, "I tell you what, if I do this," so I lifted up her T-shirt and I signed it across her belly.
Yeah.
She loved it. And like lots of other people, when they ask for my autograph on their body, they plan to have it tattooed over. Which is kind of neat, I think.
Right, that's pretty cool.
I like that.
That actually was our second
Yeah, I was going to
question.
say, have you ever had an autograph turned into a tattoo? That was the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did the
But I
people in
mean,
the van have candy?
He's sick, isn't he? I love it.
Oh, Josh.
Other than that, I don't remember anything unusual or outlandish that they asked me to sign.
Okay. What's your
I hate to
favorite?
think of what it might be, but
What's the favorite voice you did on the Dynamis show?
Nixon, Richard Nixon. He was the president for you guys. As a matter of fact, it became pretty famous when I would say, "I'm a in the morning, hi there, Dono." Nixon was always fun to do. Teddy, I did a lot of Teddy Kennedy. "Yes, well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I mean,
That one just sunk in.
Is Bigfoot real?
One of them is his left foot, I believe. No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so. I just made up a joke. I think Bigfoot is not real. Yeti could be. Yeti thing. Okay, it's been nice talking to you guys.
No, that was great. So,
Yeti.
are
I kill my.
are aliens real?
Do you believe in the possibility that we're not alone?
I believe we're not alone. I believe we're not the only creatures. It can't be. It can't be. And I'm not sure that there are people with enlarged heads and big eyes and like that, but there's something out there, and there's something going on.
So if aliens are real, then would you rather have the Sword of Omens or the Thunder Tank?
I'd rather have the Thunder Tank because the sword's heavy as hell.
Okay.
Look at this is what's happened to me after 40 years of carrying that damn sword around. I used to be 6.5 feet tall.
Yep.
Beautiful red hair.
I saw pictures.
Yeah. I'd take the Thunder Tank and I'd have it lowered in the rear, you know, and bouncy thing. Where the Hispanic community, they have those cars that bounce up and down.
Yeah.
I asked
Low
Panther
riders.
a couple of times.
Low riders. Yeah.
Low riders.
Yeah.
Low riders.
Oh my.
And I'd have Panther making
No, you do.
Oh, the best Indiana Jones movie.
I always think the first ones are the best, but you know, I mean, it probably holds true in this case too. I don't know.
All right.
With movies, you know, I have this thing about I really don't like it. It doesn't make me angry, but it makes me uncomfortable when people say, "What's your favorite movie?" Or "What would you give that movie?" I hated it because I don't place an order on where I liked something. You know, was this better than that or whatever? It's just me. If I like it, I like it, and you know, not the hell with it.
We'll skip the next question.
Here, there is.
Okay,
according
this
to
next question, there is a correct answer. Okay, so just to be clear, this is a clear one where it must be answered correctly. So, but I will let him ask.
Does pineapple belong on a pizza?
No! Are you kidding me?
Yes! Yes!
Although I'll tell
In
you,
your
I did-
face!
I quit. I quit.
Yeah!
It's you and me, Josh.
That's right.
I just noticed your T-shirt. I like that T-shirt. What are you wearing?
I got.
Oh,
Thunder
good.
Cat. Yeah.
We dressed
love
we dressed for the role.
Yeah.
You sure did.
He paid $500 for the sword too.
Don't tell my wife.
Oh.
But for that sword, you paid $500.
No.
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 If you had bought it with my signature on it, it would have cost you $500.
As a married man, my wife is indulgent to a certain point. If I went and said, "Hey, yeah, hon, I just paid $500 for this," her answer would be, "Get out of our house." Oh, what I meant to say is, "Get out of my house."
I love it. I love it.
So that will do it, and I really appreciate Larry
Yes.
Kenney for
Thank
coming on the
you.
show. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You are a legend.
He's right.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. I really had a good time. You know, I do a lot of these, and you guys always had your stuff together, and it's always fun for me when that happens. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And if I may,
Yep.
thanks everybody for watching ThunderCats and all the other stuff. I appreciate it. I always like to say that if it weren't for the fans watching it, you know, what's the point? You know, I'd be a nobody. Like, never mind. I shouldn't even have done. I should have just stopped. But thank you, everybody.
I appreciate it.
thank
Thank you
you.
so much. And
Okay, guys.
yeah, thank you. So for Johnny O,
And Josho.
we are out, everybody.
Oh!
Thank you for listening to the show. Join us on our YouTube channel. XX handle smash, as well as Buzzsprout, as well as Spotify.